What's going on, everybody? I got Lace White. That you can't make that up. That is a ball python breeder's name, if ever there was one. Lace White on the show tonight from Lace Balls. Thank you for being here. Let's get to it. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Sorry, that weird look on my face. I'm in the basement, and above me is a 13-year-old and a 1-year-old puppy. And I don't know what they just did, but it sounded like they knocked over a bookshelf for the Christmas tree. Anyhow, I'll find out that answer in about 89 minutes from now after this show. Thanks for being here tonight. I got Lace from Lace Balls on the show. If you don't know Lace, you should. I promise it'll be worth your time. Lace creates some of like my favorite content. We'll get to that in a minute though. So stick around for Lace. Thank you for being here. My name's Adam. If we haven't met before, I'm the breeder and founder behind Proper Royals. And I do this every Tuesday night. And I've been doing it for about 4.5 years. And we talk about ball python, business, breeding, community, and fun. So I hope you like it. I see some new faces in the crowd and in the chat. So thanks for being here. Couple quick announcements, not a whole lot going on. 15 minutes of lame is going on. Lace is a, what would you say, a competitor, participant? I don't know if it's a competition. I guess it's a competition. Participant in that for Chris Eaton, Fat Man Nation. So if you like Lace, I'll let her make her pitch tonight for about maybe 3 years now, 2 years for sure. No, this would be the third year, I think, of this. I haven't had anybody in the competition on the show during the competition because I don't want it to be like a campaign stop. But if you want to know a hack to work around that, you invite me on your own podcast. And then, I open the doors. I reciprocate a little bit. No, all joking aside, we had this book before the contest started, and I actually had no idea that Lace was in it. But anyway, we'll talk about that in just a little bit tonight. But what a cool thing for the community, and whether you vote for Lace or not, or anybody else, go support these folks. They're doing great things for the community. Cheers to Chris. The guy was in the hospital for like 52 days. And then I think he's still in rehab. Actually, I'm pretty sure of it. I don't want to spill anybody's personal business or whatever. And he's still moving forward with it. So I know the judges are doing a lot. I know that Chris is pushing through a lot. Give these folks some support for building our community, bringing attention and engagement and community within. So anyhow, I think it's a very cool thing is what I'm saying. So thanks for doing that, Chris, and go vote and support your favorite participants this year. Let me see here. Only a couple weeks left for the show in 2025, which I don't really know what changes overnight from 2025 to 2026, but we'll figure out January later. Next week, how about these bangers for the end of the year? I got Antoine from DPR Cold Blood is going to be on the show next week. I will butcher the French pronunciation of his last name, Antoine Seguin. And then another Canadian, but he's relocated to Atlanta, or the Atlanta area. Anyway, Will Morose just confirmed will be on December 23rd. And then that leaves December 30th. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do on the 30th. It's the middle of the holidays. Everybody's coming and going. Maybe we'll just do a big hangout, or I don't know. I'm not going to take the night off, but we got to figure out something to do. We'll figure out something fun for that night. But most importantly, Antoine from DPR Cold Blood next week. Will Morose from Royal Canadian RCR. Is it? Yeah. What is the R? Royal Canadian. You know who I'm talking about. He's been on the show 3 times. I should know. What is RCR? Royal Canadian. Somebody help me out here. Royal Canadian Reptiles. That's the one, Aaron? Okay. Thank you. I should have had that. That's pretty basic, right? All right. Thank you for the bailout, my man. Yeah. Sammy the Bull hanging out, man. Yeah. Should we do an open panel? Maybe we need Sammy to send out the year. Maybe that's what we need to do. Lots of people in here. When I'm yapping by myself, I can't keep up with all the comments. Thanks for hanging out, everybody, on that. Let me see. There's a new YouTube video that I've been putting out. That I put out yesterday, or maybe really early this morning. Anyway, it's out there. It's about a new gravel clutch. But more importantly, I am committing, I guess officially now that I said it on the internet, committing to being a little bit more consistent in my YouTube participation outside of the lives. I actually really enjoy making those videos. The problem is that I get like in way too deep and then I get into editing way too much. So I've been doing a couple where I'll show off clutches, or I'll talk about a gene, or maybe I'll do a little tour, or here's how I do something in the shop. But I'm keeping them at like 6 to 10 minutes. They don't have to be these 30, 40 minute, life lessons or whatever. Who needs all of that? Adam has plenty of content. If you need that, you can go through the library. So check it out. Let me know what you think. I hope that you like it. It is, like I say, very minimal editing. Even the sound isn't great, but I didn't set up a microphone or audio interface or any of that. So I'd love your feedback. And it's a pretty cool clutch in the Gravel project. Gravel, Clown, Het Ultramel combos is the most recent one. I think that's it. December 21st, I'll be at the Snake Discovery Show. That'll be the last show that I vend in 2025. That's here in Hastings, Minnesota. All you locals, I hope to see you there just before Christmas. So if you got a hankering for a little, I'm not advocating to stick a ball python in a stocking, but figuratively, if you're looking for a little stocking stuffer, you know what I'm saying. Come check it out. Lace White from Lace Balls. I ran across Lace's Instagram. Maybe I'll have to ask her, but I think it was a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago. And it was just like funny, down to earth stuff. Like everybody tries to flex and show how much they know and what an expert they are. And even when they're brand new, nobody wants to be like, I'm brand new. And then here's this like funny breath of fresh air where you could just like totally relatable, and you're just like, yeah, that's right. I remember that stuff, or I still do that stuff or whatever. And I thought it was really great. And so I think we had like maybe messaged a time or two, but we never really connected. And then Lace does this, I guess anything you do on the internet now is a podcast, but they do a show with Nikki from Irresistible Pythons, and brilliantly named Show Me a Rack. And they were kind enough to invite me on their show. That was a few weeks back, and that was really fun. I had a great time. Got a little loose on there. If you want to see Adam out of it, and maybe a little less proper. That was a fun episode. So anyhow, I decided that it was time to reciprocate, catch up, and hang out one-on-one with Lace from Lace Balls. So please welcome for the very first time to the proper royal stage, Lace White from Lace Balls. What's up, Lace? How you doing?
Dude, I'm crying. That was very, very kind. Thank you.
Well, don't cry yet. It's way too early for that. You can't do that.
Yeah. True.
No, I very much appreciate it, and it was heartfelt. I had a really great time hanging out with you and Nikki, and you were like in the driver's seat for a lot of that show too. So it felt like the roles were switched. I was like, well, all right, I'm just going to buckle up and ride along here,
It's I have very, very, very bad ADHD. Once I get going and I'm having a blast, it's really hard for me to stop. That show is probably the biggest outlet for me that there is, just to talk with like-minded, cool snake people. I learned the most about everything that I'm doing from the show.
Yeah, no, I empathize with that, because that's really the driving force behind why I started doing this. And like, there wasn't anybody at the time when I started that was just like, hey, I'm here to learn. I'll share what I've done, but let's figure this thing out like transparently and in public, So I totally get that. But for people that don't know you or might not know you that well, give us a little introduction. Tell us about yourself.
My name is Lace. I am out of Fort Worth, Texas. I have been collecting for probably about 5 or 6 years now. I guess like I think all of us have had moments where we, had a couple of snakes, back in the day,
Right.
come back a couple years later and we just jump all in. So that's kind of similar to what I did. So I guess I started collecting around 5 to 6 years ago, and then I've had six clutches so far total.
Nice.
I'm very, very low and slow. Very low and slow.
How many seasons? How many seasons were those 6 clutches over?
2.5 so far.
Okay.
3. No, 3.
You got 3?
3. Yep.
Okay.
The one in the incubator will end 3.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I think the first go around I had 2 and then 7. And then, now I'm trying to do 60 this year, which is kind of nuts. But what's the motivation? What's the goal behind the ball pythons? Just a fun hobby? You see it becoming something bigger sometime? I mean, you're going through all this 15 minutes of lame headache. I guess it's a little bigger than just hanging out.
Yeah, it's my second personality, man. It's,
Nice.
I definitely have the 9 to 5, and it's definitely way more than 9 to 5. I work a lot, but this is definitely hobby. I think that when you start into this, because I've never purchased a breeder snake. Everything that I have has been with me since itty bitty baby. So
but you got a bunch of you have a lot of snakes now, though. I mean, I've seen your racks. We got 100, 120, something like that.
No, I think I'm like mid 60s.
Okay. That's a lot of snakes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's more than just hey, I got a snake or 2 kind of thing.
Right. So it's definitely hobby level. I'm definitely, I think with this competition, I think that it's going to definitely kick things up a notch.
Yeah.
Win or lose, which is good because I think I need a swift kick in the pants. I've put a lot of focus on to kind of laying low, figuring out my lane, figuring out where I belong in this. As I am doing this as a hobby. I'm not full on business. Would that be awesome? Hell yeah. But it takes a lot more time and money than I have right now. So I'm kind of in the middle there, but I definitely do have big plans, but I want to be more so focused on smaller, I guess more boutique style breeding. Have you heard that term?
Yeah.
So I definitely want to be known for more specifically blackhead hypo stuff. Pretty much everything I work is very, very dark.
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah. When you say finding your place or your lane, do you mean that as far as what you can handle and where you're comfortable, or where other people see you and where you're supposed to be?
Great question. I guess technically I shouldn't worry about where other people see me, but there's a level of realism to that. So yeah, I'm going to say definitely both. I want to, because it is just me, myself. My girlfriend, Allie, who is very, 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 very supportive. She's not very hands-on, and that's great because I never asked her to be. Right. When she does offer help and assistance, I'm beyond grateful. But I don't ever want to get to a point where it's unmanageable to where it causes me anxiety and stress, things I already deal with, to set me in a mindset of where this is not my escape.
I was going to say, do you see it as a way, maybe not a way out, but a break from the anxiety and stress?
Oh, absolutely. This sitting behind my damn phone, doing my podcast, talking to snake people. I make the joke all the time. Some of my best friends, I haven't even met them in person and put my arms around their neck before. Right. And that's a weird concept to me, but the reality is there's not a lot of, I'm not surrounded by snake breeder friends. Right. I've had to go and find those people, and I do think that I've found my circle. Now it's just really all about community and growing and doing more. I think that it was important for me to like my Instagram stuff. It was always important for me. I only did that, never expecting to have 200 or 2,000 followers. It was like a steady 47 for a while. And I was like, okay, these are people who want to see what I'm doing, friends, family. And then it kind of just took off because I was having so much fun. And then I got to a point where I was like, I want to relate with people who are also doing this. You know, I'm at a point where I can have these conversations. I know a little bit about what I'm doing here. I'm still very new, and I will always be very new. If you ask me, until I'm doing this for 2 decades, I'm going to be asking questions. I'm going to be a sponge.
Yeah, there's no reason to, like, even in my professional career, I remember, like, there's no reason to mentally retire. Like, the second you think you know everything, you just turn into a dinosaur and start to go extinct. You know, I think you got to learn. I think you got to, it's crazy because even some of my mentors that I look up to the most, they're like, I have to watch your show to see what the new trends are. And I'm like, what? This person's watching. I don't know anything about them. You know, that's how they keep up. So it's like this circle that never stops for if we're lucky, it never stops, you know? Was there like a moment you felt like Alice falling into Wonderland, or was it a little more gradual? Was there like an aha moment where you're like, whoa, this isn't just like having a snake. Like, there's like cool people out here and this sort of wild west of whatever this little universe is that we have?
Honestly, it might've been Bob's show, Sear, at the beginning of this year.
Oh yeah.
It was probably that moment where, because I went and I got to finally meet Kat and Ro from Inflating Morphs, who 5 years ago when I started collecting, I followed their page because they took just beautiful pictures and they have the cool tattoos and, you know, they're fellow lesbians and, you know, all that cool stuff. So we got really, really tight. So it actually took 5 years for me to go there for the show, and then we all met. And then same with Nikki. That's where I met Nikki. So when we were like walking around that show and people were like, oh my God, Lace, what's up? I was like, holy shit. Oh my God. Like, right? It wasn't like, I'm a very humble person. I wasn't like thinking I'm the shit or anything, but it was like, you really know who I am kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I was, it's funny, like how effective, like good, relatable, authentic content can be, because it leads to those moments. I remember walking through like Daytona with my wife and son, and we got back that night. She's like a lot of people know you. I was like, I've been at it for like a year and a half on YouTube. I was like, I've been working my butt off. And it was like this, like, she almost looked at me like, oh, I get it a little. Like, this is actually like really like happy, supportive for me.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Yeah, it was a really cool.
To an extent, she probably felt a whole lot like Allie. One time we went to a Dallas NARBC and Sammy ran up to me and he said, hey, can I get a picture with you? You're famous. And I busted out laughing and I was like, no way, dude. And I look over and Allie's like, oh God, her head's growing. Her head's growing. But also in that same, you know, aspect, Allie was like, okay, babe, I see you. Good job.
Yeah. That's the
Didn't
thing.
know.
Yeah. Well, just like the little, like I said, like pride, you know, like, oh, that's my person. They're doing their thing, you know, like, and I have to say, like, it's really kind of unrelated other than just me giving props to Kelly, my wife, but like I'm going through some crazy times as far as like buying car washes and really jumping into this and leaving a career and blah, blah, blah. And she's kind of doing the flip. Like, she stayed home with our son for a long time while I was the guy that was going out and doing it. And now I see like, she's like blossoming in her element in academia and like, you know, chasing her dreams. And it's like, hell yeah. And I'm like, I got to pay off this damn car wash, but hell yeah, she's doing her thing, you know? So,
so she's enjoying that more than staying at home.
Oh yeah. And
so the switch has been all positive.
Oh, it's been great. And I tell people like we were in our 30s before we got married. We both had our own careers and established ourselves. You know, there's nothing wrong with like two people growing together, but we were almost so independent where it was like, anyhow, I never really got to see her like flourish in her element, because we started a family pretty quick after we got married. And it was our own commitment and our own choice was, we wanted one of us to, I didn't care if it was me. We didn't care if it was her. It was just whoever was better positioned. And that was me at the time. And now it's like really cool that like I'm pursuing some other dream and she's like crushing it and killing it, you know, so it's cool to see that too, you know. So anyway, enough about me though. You're the guest tonight. So now, doesn't Allie do some of the videos with you though? Like she's like the Joe on Thursday mornings. Like I don't know what's going on down here, kind of thing. Is that her?
Yeah. I'll pull her in on some of them, and I love when she does, because you know she's always used to hearing me do all this stuff, and her and I are very, very similar as it is. We always are thinking the same thing at the exact same time. So I don't think that our level of funny, we have a very different level of funny. So, but when you combine both of it, as her being like the, you know, oh, Mr. Wilson kind of behind the scenes,
right.
It works really well. It works really well. And I don't care what she says, she has a great time doing it.
I just thought of a bit, like we got to have like a day that I need off. We need Allie to guest host on Thursday morning with Joe, and they could just compare notes of all the stupid stuff they've heard over the past 4 years dealing with you and me. I need to work that out.
So good.
I'm going to pitch that to Joe this week and see what he thinks on it.
I bet she'll be down with a little bit of convincing.
Okay, and I'll give a heads up. I know in March I have like this family trip I have to go on, and I it's not a bad thing. I need to do family trips, but yes. I'll need a guest host. Maybe I'll pitch it to Joe. We'll get ahead of these things.
Let's start talking behind the scenes.
Since you brought it up, and with full awareness of me, and I don't want to get out of line or out of my lane or my place.
Please do.
I have always taken pride or felt pride that by and large, we got a pretty cool accepting community. And I've described reptile shows as like these cool, like punk rock concerts, but even more like variety of
eclectic.
People. Yeah. And you said that you are a lesbian, and that is cool. And I'm glad that we have you in our community. I've taken pride in that. I've taken pride in it as a straight white dude. I got a pretty easy path to take some pride in this. Like, oh, we're cool. How has your experience been? Has it been that welcoming for you?
Yeah, absolutely. I've always felt blessed in my life. I have been gay for as long as I can remember.
Yeah, that's
right. Just about as long as I can remember, I've been this way. I think that's kind of how it works. But I've been very blessed and fortunate. I won't go into politics at all, but I do come from a very Republican family. And I have always been very loved and accepted. So I don't think that it's always politics that are involved.
I was going to say, both could be true in a healthy way.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. And the same for religion. You know, we're a Christian family. And again, I've always felt loved and welcome in church and, with my friends and family. That being said, I know that there are a lot of people who don't walk through life that same path. So I hope that people find their people and they hold on to them tight in this community, especially, just like you said, a very loving, very accepting, very eclectic group of people. I wouldn't have it any other way. Of course, there's the haters, but Lacey's the all lesbian. Thanks, bud.
Well, the haters got their own problems, and in my opinion, that's
I don't gotta watch them, you know.
That's true. That's exactly. You can change the channel. I don't understand people that
you can change the channel.
Content. Just change the channel. Just go on. We don't need the feedback, you know. So, hey, thank you for humoring my awkwardness and asking that. But it is something that I hope for myself, but also again for our whole community. I hope I've always been welcoming to all people, and even to people that disagree with me and view things in another way, because I think that hearing each other is important. We don't have to.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, we don't have to all fully empathize with each other, but we can acknowledge that maybe we see things a little different, but you're okay as you are, as long as I'm okay as I am. And hey, that's not so hard to do, I don't think. Maybe it seems hard these days.
Yeah, dude. I think social media comes into play with a lot of the disconnection between humans these days. And then, of course, here we are, throwing ourselves on social media. But I mean,
There's two sides to that pendulum. It can for every swing that it takes one way, maybe it takes a couple people swinging it the other way. So I don't know. That's a good analogy, but if that makes any sense, but again, I don't set out to change people's mind. I'm a much bigger fan of just sort of behaving,
keeping it open.
Yeah, well, and behaving like walking the walk. People can figure out what my own message is just from my own actions. I don't need to. I try not to get preachy or whatever. So
yeah.
Tell us about your podcast with Nikki. What do you guys got going on? Obviously, I was there. I got a firsthand experience. But what was the genesis of that, and what do you guys set out to do in each episode on that?
So we definitely, I think next year we're going to start to grow it and make it a little bit more structured chaos. I think that we're just kind of going to, we definitely need to work on promoting it more. I think we need to be more structured with, the content and the flow of the show. I think something that makes it cool is it is a big hangout. But I do think that we can get a better flow going. I think that the show is going to be something that we're always working on, but at the end of the day, again, it's kind of like our outlet. Mm-hmm. It's the time Nikki and I get to hang out. And the biggest thing is that I'm sure that you know this, but the show is not about us at all. I know I talk my face off, and I probably need to work on that, but the show is about the guest. Mm-hmm. We're learning from these people. We're trying to uplift these people. We really want to dig a little bit deeper and find the ones who haven't shown their face and give people a safe, comfortable space to put themselves out there as an actual individual behind the snakes. Mm-hmm. Because I think as you grow in your business or your hobby, it's important that customers and people know you. You know what I'm saying?
No, I do know. Yes, I do get it. That's again, some of the genesis of here. I can put out all the advertisements I want, but I can't really fake my way through 90 minutes every week. The real me is going to seep out no matter what mask I think I'm putting on. But that's what I want as at the end of the day, how many Chris tells us every week there's tens of thousands of ball python breeders out there. At the end of the day, us as individuals are the differentiating factor, I think. And Chris, by the way, thank you for the kind tip in the jar there, man. I appreciate it, man. Keep getting better, man.
Yes.
Where did that start with you and Nikki?
We actually, about the time that you had mentioned that you started seeing my reels and stuff, I think that's when I really decided hey, I'm going all in. I'm doing the breeding thing. I'm finding my little path. I'm finding what I want to kind of really work with and specialize with. I'm learning from my mistakes. Cause when I started, I bought, 10, 15 males. And then I stopped for 3.5 years. I didn't buy one male. What do you think happened after that 3.5 years, Adam? I had no males that I wanted to use.
Well, things changed at 3.5. I was going to say, you didn't make any babies in that time. I mean, there's some, basic principles there.
A couple, but just, pet stuff. I think that the next step for lace balls is going bigger, definitely bigger. I mean, you have to. You cannot stay stagnant in this if you're going to be bigger than something just outside of it just being keeping in a hobby. I think that if you want to turn this into a business, you cannot stay stagnant. You have to be rolling with the punches.
Yeah, and you either have to go really big or you have to do a lot of volume to create cash flow so that then you can go big. I don't think this is the old philosophical debate. It's Steven and I get into this every time we talk, but I don't think anybody has to go broke getting into it.
Yeah.
But if you're not going to go broke, you got to hustle
double time.
Selling stuff as fast and as much as you can.
Yep.
And then reinvesting that money so that you don't go broke. And you got to do that while you're keeping a job, because obviously if you're reinvesting everything, you're not giving yourself any return on things. So you got to be able to eat in there as well.
Yeah. I think your first 5 years as a breeder, you have to focus on building your collection, turning the collection that you've slowly bought from other people into only stuff that you've produced. And then you have to pick your path, pick your poison, and drink and go, baby.
I get passionate about it because you're going to clean a lot of poo and you're going to hear a lot of people throwing a lot of poo is kind of what I think is going to happen. But it's out there, like, again, I think authenticity and being real and just doing what you do. And there's no real success or failure unless you like totally wrap it up and throw it away. And the same way with no, like, how successful is successful? You gotta be Justin with a car full of Porsches. Probably none of us are. Or a garage full of Porsches. No. Probably none of us are. No. But there's a whole lot of happy places in the middle there. And some people want to keep their jobs. Some people step outside of their jobs. But I had to start another business consulting with what I was an expert in because like I say, I'm still in the reinvesting everything stage. So it's a long haul on there. So do your own thing. Don't feel like there's any rules on there. I'm sorry, I want to wrap up the podcast portion. Yep. How many episodes have you done? How long have you been at that? And how often do you do it? Where can people see that?
So it is on YouTube, the Irresistibles ball python channel network, whatever she is. I just go there and hang out. But we've been doing it for less than 13 months. So we kind of just hit our little 1 year mark. I think we've got like 40 something episodes with maybe a couple of shows that we're waiting to still air. We do pre-record. Occasionally we do the live thing. It's kind of shocking, but we are both very hobbity people. We're very introverted. So we do take we'll record, and then we'll be like, hey, social battery break. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right.
So, we just got to really communicate and work our schedules. But, I think that Nikki is my manager in life. She is so good at everything. She's great with content. She's great with creativity. She's the most positive, uplifting, lovable human in the world. She would give the shirt off of her back to you if it were negative 20 degrees. I think the world of her. And I'm so glad that she found me. It was around that time when you started noticing my videos that she was like, she had a show. She had a show in your circle where she kind of did something very similar. Just very positive, uplifting, other breeders in the community. And she reached out to me and she was like, hey, I told Kurt that if I ever did another podcast show, I would do it with you. And we laughed about it for a couple of months. And then one day she was like, hey, I was serious.
Yeah.
I said, okay, let's go.
Let's give it a shot.
Yeah, let's go.
One thing you didn't use to describe Nikki is hilarious, and I was going to put an adjective in front of there, but it's a proper show here. She is like dry, insightful, super punny. Smart, witty, punny, hilarious.
Yeah.
And I think that you are also hilarious, and I think that you're down to earth and like really what's the word I'm thinking?
Eccentric, out there.
Well, there's a little bit of that. No, relatable is what it like. The stuff like that just breeders in general are going through or hoping for. I don't know. I feel like you're always doing something like, I hope one day I can do, and then like we're scraping poo on our knees on the floor.
Yeah.
I'm just making that up, but that's sort of
no. It's very true. That is kind of my niche. Is hey, funny, relatable content that you can definitely be like laughing your ass off about and be like, dude, I have been there,
Right. Was that purposeful that you kind of, did you ever say to you, were you like, hey, I got to do this as like a comedy thing? Or was that just like, hey, I'm going to try this and that hit and you started doing more of it? Or how did that work?
No, I'll be I'm the funniest person I know. I've always my entire life, I've been the funny one, which is hilarious because I've struggled a lot with mental health. And I mentioned earlier, I'm extremely ADHD, so I struggle a lot with that and maintaining that. I've always, everything in life has had to end with a smile or a bright side. You know, we all go through some shit, but I really have worked very hard on how to pull myself out of dark places to where comedy has always been my outlet for stuff like that. And I think that when we talk about like people's purpose in life, I've always in my heart of hearts felt like my purpose in life was to make people laugh.
Yeah.
So it just kind of went hand in hand, because this is something that cools me off and chills me out, and something that I'm obsessed with and fascinated with, but also I'm going to make it funny.
Yeah. Where does, was there a, you use the word obsessed with, was there a moment that like the obsession clicked, or was it like a series of things where you're like, oh my gosh, there's this whole other world, or what feeds that? What is that?
I think obviously it's always been with, my biggest fear in life has, when I was a child, even a teenager, young 20s, I was always scared of snakes. I always dreamt about snakes. I'd take off running. But I do remember like being a kid, and there was a Catholic church that every year they would put on this huge carnival.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I would intentionally go to this carnival because they had like a snake petting zoo. And that's the only thing I wanted to do there. All my friends wanted to go and meet the boys, and I was like, I'll go with you, but we're going to that snake tent.
We're going to look at the snake tent.
Yeah. And I would spend 4 hours in that thing, man, just looking at these snakes. And first of all, I just was extremely upset, worrying if they were truly happy and cared for.
Right. Yeah.
But because, I mean, knowing what I know now, would I ever participate in what that was? That's probably not a great idea. PETA should have been all over that probably back in the day, but I've always been scared of snakes. And then when I was like probably like 26, I got 2. Was absolutely in love with them. I started dating a girl. Long story short, that wasn't a thing. So the snakes went, and then back in like 2020, it's funny. Allie just showed me the video recently. We were laying in bed, and she was like Snapchatting something, and I'm just sitting there scrolling on my phone, and I'm watching YouTube snake videos,
Right.
and Snake Bites TV and Brian Barczyk videos, you know, all this stuff. And I have no snake to my name. And she's like, what are you doing? And I was like, do you think it would be cool if like I got back into snakes? And she's got the video.
Yeah.
And she was like, she had so many questions. I mean, the camera shut off eventually, but we talked about it. And she's like, if that's what you want. And then I just found them to be so therapeutic for me, like just very calming, very secure. And then I just became fascinated and obsessed with them. And the rest is history. It starts with 1, as we know.
Right. Yeah. I like the expression, you know, if I get you to 4, I'm going to get you to 20. It's the 1 to 4
Yep.
that takes the work. After that, it's, you know, you're in the gang after that.
I love that.
You mentioned a little bit earlier, blackhead, hypo combos. Tell me a little bit about that. Where do you see things going? It sounds like you've been doing a lot of like thinking, and that you're sort of on the precipice of trying to make a move or make an investment, or you've decided a direction. Talk a little bit about that.
The next 2 years, I think, will be the most volume that I've had. Like I said, I've been kind of really stacking my army. I've tried to be very intentional and learn from early on. You know, I wanted, you know, bells and bananas and, you know, stuff like that, which don't get me wrong, dude, I still want those on my table.
Yep.
So I still have my bell pairing, you know, ready to go. I still have banana stuff ready to go. So I do want that on the table, but I found myself like saving screenshots of posts and people's snakes, and like shows about genetics and what this does and how this changes this. And that, I think, is really when the obsession kicked in, but then it also fucked with my head because I started comparing what I had, what I could do. And after a while, you start to devalue yourself a little bit and you lose your way.
Yeah, actually, that's really, really insightful. There's a lot of people that message me a lot and they're like, did you see this? Or did you see what price this is? And I'm like, no,
Momentary.
I know. I don't watch any of it. I don't look at any of it because all it's going to do is feel so overwhelming because all you see publicly is the one, like, it's like a band having a smash hit. You don't see the 8 years of them living in a van doing heroin and getting through that. Not that any of us are doing that, I hope. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't see all the work that goes into it. All you see is that one, like, scroll through the little vertical screen of the one amazing thing that they've accomplished, and not the flooded rodent bins and the poor hatchlings that won't eat and the $0 shows in the middle of December and that stuff's dangerous. And it's not real either. Like, I hear people that are like, oh, this was just posted for 10 grand. And I'm like, posted for and selling for, and then repeating. You spent 100 grand to get one 10 grand sale. Where's the other 90 grand guy? I mean, what about that? You still got that to figure out, you know, even if you do get that. Sorry.
You hit.
So happy you said that.
Resonates with me hard. Resonates with me very hard. This is why I can't stress it enough. Again, I'm only 5-6 years into this, and I'm saying this. You have to love it. You have to wake up and want to go and do your snake room, because if you don't, you're going to lose your you have to have your patience. You're going to lose your mind chasing your tail in this.
I think it's good I think our community is amazing, and I think it's important to embrace that. Obviously, I hope I embody that. I'm here every Tuesday night in a basement, you know, kind of deal. But I think it's also really important to go to shows and go either vend or go interact with the people that don't see our little circle, because like, I still thought, let's say a banana leopard clown. I don't know that there's a more mind-blowing animal that I could look at, maybe on this earth, but certainly within our little world. And we're like, that's kids, that's pet stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, it's still the most amazing thing that 99% of the people in that room
still caught your eye
that day. Yeah, and it's going to get them hooked on it, and they're going to get excited about it. And I find that recharging when I get stuck going, how am I ever going to catch up to the guy that just posted a hypo VPI clown pie? Oh, he got his quad visual. Yeah. I'll probably be on Social Security before I ever hit a quad visual, you know?
Yeah, dude. Social media is great if you use it in the right way of, it's very motivating. I'll say that. It's motivating seeing what other people are working. It's also a way of learning more about what can do what. Yeah. But just like you said, I am a firm believer in it's very important to go to shows. You have to see stuff in person.
I think so. And I think I love the stoic idea that nothing is as good or as bad as it ever seems. So the lows aren't as low as they are, and the highs aren't as high as they are. So everything in balance. And so there's definitely a place for, I'm not saying not to have social media by any means. That's gas in the tank. But like, where it stops being gas in the tank, that's where you got to go find the other stuff, I think.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Yeah. And I think the friends do that too. Like there's really, I see various people in the audience, but like, I've only met Kevin one time in my life, but we went to Toronto and worked as CRBE together. And it's like, awesome. Like I needed that had nothing to do with any genes or morphs or anything else. That was just getting down to earth and having a good time with people, you know? So I think that stuff's really important. I didn't mean to derail you though. So Blackhead Hypo, and you spent some time and the next 2 years are kind of the focus. you said earlier that you really hadn't bought any adult breeders. You've been buying hatchlings along the way, growing them up. So where are you at now on like stats? What's your mix of like males to females? How soon are you going to be able to start breeding those? How many clutches will you be looking at? Those kinds of things.
So I think I've got around like 40 females to, I don't know, maybe 15 males, and all the males are definitely not usable. The majority of my males are definitely just pets to me at this point.
Okay.
So I think that like the next year, while I'm working on stuff that I have been raising up and getting ready, I'm definitely going to be getting those higher dollar male powerhouses.
Mm-hmm.
I did start to do that towards the end of this year, which I was very late on. Again, I got very behind, getting caught up in, being overwhelmed in my direction.
Yeah.
But I do think it was important that I stopped and didn't continue to do shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So my big focuses with like my hypo clown projects, which I guess you can say I took a page out of your book, but with that, I think the most important stuff to see for me would be color contrast pattern.
Oh, there you go. That one. I was going to say, I've never made a hypo clown in my life, but I want to, but I haven't yet. Yeah. Color contrast pattern. I'm a big fan of that. Yes.
So with that, I've strategically got my dark jeans that I'm working heavily, and then I have my lighter stuff. So I did list them out because I knew we were going to get here. Sweet. My dark stuff, everything, almost damn near everything has blackhead in it. Acid, Wookie, leopard, mahogany, chocolate, black pastel, a lot of black pastel, but that's where it gets tricky. It's where it gets tricky. A lot of black pastel on both sides, male and female.
Oh yeah, you got to watch crossing those strings.
Yes. Yeah. So a couple of change ups there. Huffman, I think, is badass, and I think it's slept on. I've got spot nose in the mix a little bit, and then my bright stuff is first and foremost OD.
Okay.
Lace, cypress, inchy, because I do think it brings a nice little pattern disruptor as well as a little bit of brightness element to everything. Mm-hmm. Red stripe, yellow belly. Special does some cool stuff with brightening and pattern, and fire.
Nice. So those are all, and I, at the risk of getting lectured on what to call them, those are all dominants or non-recessives, as I like to call them now, because I'm over the lectures. It's one copy of a gene, and you can see a difference in it. How about that? Yeah. What about the recessive paths for yourself?
So with all of those genes, that's what I have in hypoclown. I'm sorry, I should have made that more clear.
Okay. All right. Yes. So like way down the rabbit hole of the hypoclown stuff that way, huh?
Very, very deep, because I saw when I didn't know, I definitely wanted to do hypo. Hypo is everything to me. I didn't know if I wanted to do more hypopod or hypoclown. And not that I had to pick those three. That's just what I had in my collection at that time.
Sometimes you roll with what you got instead of figuring out.
You got to make the best out of it.
That's right.
I don't want to waste a pairing just because of where things are at right now. But where was I going? You're great at keeping me on track. Where was I going with this?
Oh, we were just talking about recessives, and you said there was a clown or a pod choice, and you kind of went towards clown.
Yeah. So because of, again, pattern, contrast, and then the way that dark and light comes through with hypoclown stuff.
Yeah.
I saw a couple years back, a hypoclown pod was what, $3,000?
Mm-hmm.
We know what they're worth now. But when you have all of those dominant genes in those, it's plug and play at this point, because I've done the hard part. I've stacked everybody. Now it's plug and play.
Nice. Well, and so on these double and triple things, we all hear that the price dropped out and the bottom came out, but nobody put anything in on top of them.
That's what I'm saying.
They all went for the triple visual. They didn't go for the acid, cypress, Huffman version of it.
Right.
You're making Chris get some religion here. He has questions
Oh,
about Huffman here.
he hates my Huffman. He hates it, dude. And I love that he hates it. I really I put a heart on the Huffman because I knew he'd be here.
Kevin asked about your organization. What do you do? How do you set up your racks?
I have the baby rack. I have all ARSs. I have a little sea serpents in here that I wheel in and out. I don't have anything in quarantine right now, but it's like my little quarantine rack.
Oh,
so
okay, sure.
Wheel it into the other room when I do have something in timeout there. I have the ARS, the Mini 130.
Oh, yeah. How do you like that thing?
Dude, love it.
That's a limousine or a cargo van, depending on how you look at it. That is a sizable investment and a sizable piece of equipment.
So with equipment for me, I wanted to get ahead of it. I went so long with DIY racks that it left me frustrated more times than not. So once I went all in and I decided this is going to be a thing, I wanted to make sure I really invested in my equipment, even if I didn't have enough snakes to fill it, because I don't need to have the space. I need the space. I don't need this every single snake. Right. But I wanted to be able to grow into everything, because you have a clutch, and what happens if they don't all sell? Well, you don't toss them in the yard,
No. Well, and I was going to say, especially for hatchlings, like you need unused space, because there'll come a time of the year where it's going to be just totally packed. And then do you organize things by genes within the rack, or is it just sort of just get them in there and make sure they're taken care of?
No, I have a what's the damn 70-30?
The big ones, yeah, 70-30.
Okay, I have a big 70-30 rack here with like mainly all of my biggest breeder girls, and then I have kind of more so like my male rack and still kind of like grow up girls in the 70, 50, 55.
55s or 50s? There's a 55-40 and a 50-40.
The bigger one.
Bigger one, 55.
55. Yeah. So I've got the 55s. What I do like I got sidetracked. I apologize. You're really great at keeping me on track, though. On the Mini 130, I did about 4 rows of minis. I don't have all of them set up because it's not even close to being full. But I also did like 7 rows of the 1078s.
Oh, cool. I was going to ask, did you get all 130 set up on the
No.
I know you haven't set them up yet, but I'm saying, did you buy all 130 of those, or you mix and match the 10s with the tiny ones? Yeah, there you go. Nice.
Yeah. That was the most logical for me, again, because of growing out and holdbacks. And I also really don't like the snakes that I have sold. I don't really like to ship out a snake until they're at least like 200 grams. That's just a personal preference for me. I want to make sure that they are good, solid before I hand them to their next home.
That's a nice setup, because obviously we all look back. We're like, what would I have done different? Like, I don't think I would have ever bought my 50 series. I have a 50-40. And like, I like I don't know what the tiny ones that come in the 130 are called, but then the 10s I really like, because you could get a pretty sizable male in the 10s, and it does really well. And the same with the females. And then the females, can go up to the 55s and then the 70s. And then the adult male never needs anything. Well, I wouldn't say never, but most of them aren't going to need anything bigger than a 55, Right. So I like the setup that you have there. Do you ever feel like you're missing anything in between, or you just take them right from the 10s right into the 55s?
From the 10 to the 55, I try to add a lot of clutter.
Yeah.
Just random hides or, some like safe plants and such. But I really try to take it as far as I can go in the 10s before I dump them in. But once it's time, they get dumped.
Yeah. What do you do for rodents?
I breed my own rodents, and I realized very quickly that buying frozen thawed was, again, because this is hobby, I don't generate a lot of income from this. if I'm going to if I'm going to make it past a year, I have to breed my own rodents.
Gotcha.
So
what do you breed? What do you like?
I have like 4 colonies left of rats, and then other than that, I've switched to all ASFs.
Oh, really? Why's that? Talk about that a little bit.
I needed more. I've definitely never been a power feeding kind of breeder. I'm not going to say that my snakes are hungry by any means, but I don't feed as frequently as others.
Mm-hmm.
I have started to change that since I've been doing ASFs, and I feel like my snakes are thriving. I like it's a thing, dude, the leaner poops.
It's great. I mean, you know, you're preaching to the choir here. I mean, I got thousands of ASFs. That's all I deal in.
The leaner poops, the production level, how much they pump out. Now, my least favorite part about the ASFs is how long it does take them to get to size.
It's hard.
You have to have a ginormous grow out tank.
It's hard to get them to larges, and then to keep larges ready to go for your adult breeders. But
yeah,
how did that conversation with Allie go?
She it was like, oh shit. But then literally all it took was me telling her, okay, just so you know, this is what I spend a month to feed frozen. This is what I feed to produce them. And she said, oh, I get it. I get it. Yeah. Because, say that savings, that's where I could put my money into my snake money.
Yeah. Right.
I got to buy the cool snakes.
Yeah. Or just save. That works too. You could save a little.
I'm a terrible saver though. That's another problem.
Well, that's a different episode. I'm not going to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I obviously, maybe not obviously, but Kelly and I are at the point and have been for a long time where our money is commingled. So it was even more of a conversation of like, what's going on here.
Right.
So I do still use a whole lot of frozen rodents from Cold Blooded Cafe.
Yes.
But I mean, I think I've got about 300 snakes right now.
Yeah.
And so doing both. But it's funny, talk about pendulum swings. Like I'll feed all ASFs for a while, and then it's like, all right, no ASFs for a month and a half because I need them all to get big, and I need, and so I'll just swing over to the frozen as well, which I like too, because there's still that like narrative that they won't go back and forth between them or they get hooked on.
I have not found that to be true.
It's a nonsense narrative, but I don't have time it shows to convince people different on that. So the animals I know I'm going to sell, I keep them on frozen rats. The others is I just keep them flexible, whatever I have the most of at the moment. But in my perfect world, I'd feed ASF straight ahead. Boom, 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 fast speed, and they do it. They love it. It's healthy. And I don't know that it's healthier. I'm not the scientist behind it, but they do seem healthy on the ASFs.
They seem to take, I don't think I ever really consistently had a ginormous problem with any of my snakes refusing, but they get more piped up about an ASF, man. I think that sometimes I throw a rat in there and they're like, okay. But like an ASF, I have them kind of hanging out in the room a little bit before, and then I'm pulling tubs and they're ready. They are ready. Yeah. They're excited. I think that there's more of like a hunter aspect to ASFs. They're definitely quicker, I think. I think the snakes kind of get going a little bit better. I like about ASFs that I think it's easier to start hatchlings. I've had less issues with first meals with ASFs. I do. It's still debatable if they are cleaner than rats. They definitely smell a whole lot better.
I was going to say they smell better, and I am less allergic to ASFs than rats, but I think it's because of the smell and the dander and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's a convenient time at the top of the hour. I want to continue talking about ASFs, and then we got some questions from the audience as well to get to. But I want to say I want to pay some bills is what I want to do. But I want to say thanks to these people that support the show here. If you all haven't caught on, this is Lace from Lace Balls. You can check her out on Lace Balls at Instagram. You can also check her out in the 15 Minutes of Lame competition with our buddy Chris Eaton at Fat Man Nation, and on her own podcast, Show Me Your Rack with Nikki at Irresistibles. In the meantime, I'll tell you about Redline Shipping. I do still use Redline Shipping. It doesn't focus. There it is. There's all right, we'll keep it here. Redline Shipping, this time of year, the temps are dangerous. That's exactly the way to put it. And they have the team to help you through it. There's a phone number you can call. You can get a human that will give you service, that knows about keeping and owning and shipping reptiles. And they have the equipment also and the supplies to help you do it safely and certainly. And I will tell you, in the post Black Friday shipping period, where maybe there was some lectures about people that shouldn't be shipping, Redline was busy finding animals while other people were lecturing at us. So I thought that spoke volumes about why I use Redline Shipping. So go check that out. Use the promo code PROPER5. Get yourself $5 off your next shipping label. Thank you very much to Redline Shipping for the support. Shedtesting.com. That's Charlie Williams. You're going to start seeing a name change from shedtesting.com to phenome.com. Phenome is the genetics company that Charlie has partnered with and is indeed part of. It's not just a partnership. They are indeed one company now. So you'll see a name change coming. You'll see me tag shedtesting.com. You'll see me tag phenome.com. It's still Charlie running the shed testing portion of it for ball pythons. And recently he lowered his prices. He increased the lab capacity and the speed at which with which he can get your tests back to you. So you can now do a 10-panel test for $85. That's $8.50 per test on a single animal. You can do a full recessive panel test for the same price, and you're going to get results back in 5 business days or less. And they're going to be more accurate because of the lab capacity. Better, faster, cheaper. It's like the trifecta of business goals. So go check that out at shedtesting.com, and you can use the promo code PROPER10, get yourself 10% off. That's 10% off the prices that he's lowered and made cheaper. So yeah, it used to be a higher percentage, but it was a much higher price. So you're still getting a great deal. Check it out. Proper 10. You can do that on 2 orders, and you can order as many shed tests as you want per order. Sundog Serpents, that's Sarah and Josh. They were just vending, I believe it was Orlando Repticon down in Florida. I've known Sarah and Josh now for 4 or 5 years. We vended together down in Florida on the Repticon circuit. I bought animals from them. They bought animals from me. We're working on Clown Monsoon project stuff this year together. I've got one of their females here with me, which I'm thankful for their trust. What I'm saying is they're trustworthy people that I do business with. They got some new stuff to check out right now, available right now. I got it on the special notepad, separate from the other notes. Stranger, hang on, Lace. Stranger Clown hypo ingredients and maybe double visual available right now.
Let's go.
About that, as well as TSK zebra ingredients. If you like TSKs, Anthic, they're definitely a great resource for you. They also have puzzle hatchlings that are available, and they do a whole lot with asphalt and super asphalt projects, which is great. I like the gravel route, but they went asphalt. Very cool nonetheless. That's Sarah and Josh at Sundog Serpents. Reagan Renee Royal Pythons. You got to go check out ReaganRenee.com. Speaking of 15 Minutes Lame, he is the current reigning for a few more weeks 15 Minutes of Lame champion. He just rolled out ReaganRenee.com. A lot of information about to fly at you here. All of his inventory is on there. If you buy from ReaganRenee.com, it's going to be free shipping on anything you buy on the site. If you use promo code PROPER10, you're going to get 10% more off of anything on the site. You can pay with credit card, with Apple Pay. He's even got the, what's it called? The buy now, pay later thing set up. I forget what it's called. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. If you want something on that site, he's going to figure out a way to get that for you. He's also got these really cool value add calculators that are absolutely free. There's clutch calculators like we're kind of used to seeing. It predicts the outcome of the clutch. but he can also help you predict the valuation of the clutch. He also has a shed testing calculator to see if it makes sense to shed test an animal. If you're saying to yourself, should I test this whole clutch? He's got metrics on there and analytics that are going to help you decide that, very specific to your animal, not just like an outline. Like you're going to put in the genes and the expenses, and it's going to spit out calculations and some direction for you. So all of that's free. Go check out ReaganRenee.com. That is Charlie Ryan there at Reagan Renee. Keeper Kane would love for you to check out his YouTube channel. Keeper Kane has ball pythons, big snakes, tarantulas, aquatics. He and his wife, Michelle, are kind of the stars of their YouTube channel. It's always family friendly. And they're very enthusiastic and very passionate about what they do. And they've been at it a long time. You can learn a lot on there. And he's been a great supporter in the Proper Royals Patreon, as well as the community of ball python breeders. So I'd love for you to check out Keeper Kane if you would. Last but not least is Chris at B&S Reptilia, the original advertising partner of Proper Royals. We now vend Tinley together. We own a few animals together. Chris is B&S Reptilia because he specializes not only in ball pythons, but blood pythons, locality boas, colubrids of all shapes and sizes, the Pituophis, which are the bull snakes, and the pine snakes. And if you're into those, he's has the knowledge and education and the resources if you need permits where you're at, the paperwork that you'll need to own those in your given state or locality of your where you live. He's a great resource. He's been out this very long time, and he's been a great partner in business and friendship. I hope you'll go check out Chris at B&S Reptilia. These are all people supporting our community and from within our community. So I'm very proud of that. Last but not least is Palm Street. Tonight comes to you ad-free. I don't know if you noticed when you signed on tonight, you didn't have to watch a commercial. If you're watching on replay, first off, thanks very much for checking out the replay. Second, you haven't seen a single ad tonight, and that's from the kind people at Palm Street. Is a live selling platform where you are not only allowed but encouraged to sell your reptiles. It's an interactive live streaming, real-time marketplace where your store is built in, your payments are built in, your shipping options are built in, including Redline. It's all in one place, all encapsulated in one place, and it's the most interactive sales platform out there. And again, we're welcomed there. I mean, how archaic is it that if we post something on Instagram or Facebook, we got to use a little airplane emoji or some other wink nonsense? Go check out Palm Street, download the app, apply to start selling, and build your business today. Thanks for the support from all of those people. It's a big deal. It keeps me going here on Tuesday nights along with the audience. Thanks for being here. We're hanging out with Lace White from Lace Balls. How about that? How are you tonight, Lace? Everything good still?
Dude, you're a machine, bro.
I'm trying, but
you're good.
These are actually people that like look out for me and do good things. You know what I mean? Like this isn't just like write at them a check and I'll just say something. Like these are people I've worked with for a long time. We're really thankful that they don't go away and they keep supporting me. And we talked about the relationships and the people, and those are people I do business with. And I think that I'm happy to. So thanks for the compliment is what I should have said. And
it's very important. You're doing your little thing. And I'm just sitting here going like, we're actually very, very lucky to have the resources that we have, because this community is turning so by the people for the people that it's like, damn, hell yeah.
I love how there's so many people that are experts in other things or literal geniuses. The stuff that the two Charlies are figuring out, like both Charlie Ryan and Williams, like it's so funny. People in my world, they're like, that's really cool. You figured out this snake thing and you got this car wash thing. I'm like, there are dudes figuring out DNA testing in their garage because they're like, I think that'd be neat to do. And yeah, I got a family and a wife and kids and an 80 an hour a week job. I'm going to do it. That'd be good. That sounds like a good plan. And then they go do it and they
knock it out of the park.
Knock it out of the park. Right.
Yeah.
So
they're doing the Lord's work. I always think of Charlie as like Rick from Rick and Morty, just like walking around, like burping, like shed testing, ruining people's dreams occasionally, Negative.
It just burps monsoon. Nothing. Dog poo.
Shit, they're gonna be pissed. That's great.
I have I take great pride in private conversations staying private, but there are some things that make me laugh from what you just said. So all right. I love talking ASFs. How do you breed yours? How do you have yours set up? What's your little ASF layer look like, or your big ASF layer look like? What do you got?
Whew. So we bought our first home together last year in September 25th.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It was a huge goal of mine. I was tired of paying someone else's mortgage.
Hell yes.
Yeah. So I definitely wanted something of our own. What I will also give props to Allie for is that when we were house hunting, it was very important to buy a house with some sort of detached space.
Yeah.
So that I can renovate it into a snake room. So we found our dream home, and sure as shit, it came with a detached garage. So project renovation of the detached garage, full-fledged, is going on all next year. I'm taking every note out of the book from proper Royals. I might have 2 motherfucking sinks in that thing. There's got to be a drainage system. There's got to be a push and pull. We got to deal with the dust.
I don't even think Chris dropped an MF on my show. That might be the first.
Oh,
in
did
4
I? My
years.
bad.
Yeah.
Sorry. My bad.
Hey, listen, if they've made it 70 minutes in, we're good. But I was like, that might be a first right there.
Sorry, my bad.
Get yourself 2 nice sinks. That's what you're looking for.
Yes, 2 sinks. So we'll be renovating that, but it is currently just the rat shack, if you will. And I'm still figuring out the ASF thing. But I do have a large, like horse trough kind of situation.
Yeah, okay.
Where I've got my water line coming down to, and that's currently what I learned quickly. You need a ginormous holdback situation.
Yeah. Now, is that
the
your grow out, or you breed in there?
Just the grow outs.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I have like 9 bins.
Yeah.
No, 12 bins of ASF colonies with, usually I run like a 2.10-ish, 2. Yeah. I run them, the individual tubs, I run them fairly larger.
Yeah. And then how big are those tubs?
So they're a DIY project, but I'd say they're a little bit larger than actually they're way larger than those Home Depot concrete ones.
Oh, they're bigger than those?
Yes.
Good for you. Okay.
Yeah, they're larger than that. I wanted to make them very large.
Yeah.
And then I have kind of a wooden chicken wire kind of top situation. Then I've got everything ran down, but it's very, very basic. Just kind of, it works, so I'm not going to change it.
Yeah.
But still getting adjusted to ASFs. But I think I'm at the point where I'm taking off on them. So finally.
Yeah. And do you, like I say, I'm a total geek about this stuff. So like I have 1.3 colonies. I have 2.6s, 1.6s, 2.10s, but nowhere near as big as you're talking about as far as the tubs. My tubs probably cap out at like 20 inches by 15 inches. I'm probably running 2.10 in. So I know those are my newest experiments. So I'm still kind of playing with things as well. When you put them in your grow out bins, the big horse troughs, do you separate them by sex? Do you separate them by size, or they're in there forever until they become snake food or a new colony, or how's that work for you?
They're in there until they're snake food. And so far I haven't had any issues.
Yeah.
Because
great.
I think that the time that I put them in there is appropriate enough for things to not get nasty.
I mean, I have.
They're not killing each other and eating each other yet, so.
I mean, they probably will eventually, but you got that to look forward to. But I have, like, I've got I think they're called 20 I think they're 20 bins, basically 2 feet by 2 feet, and those are my grow outs. I mean, I pack those. I'll put 100 weans in one of those and grow them. But I'm also feeding out of those each week. So, by the time they're large, there might only be 25 or 30 in there kind of deal
Yeah.
versus, design doesn't stay 100. What do you feed? Or what do you use to feed the ASFs?
I do a like a black oil some seed kind of bird seed mix.
Yeah.
I do like the like dried mealworms. I make everybody a little special concoction. So they do have your Kalmbach mix.
Okay, so you do
But
use
then
and then you do
yeah,
the scratch grains with it.
yes, we do tons of scraps and veggies and such around our house. We always buy extra at the
Yeah.
grocery store, and the damn, let's talk about it. Who needs a garbage disposal if you're breeding rats?
Do you ever worry? Like I'm just so ingrained with like consistency. So do you ever worry that like, shoot, they did really well on carrots, but now I'm throwing out, eggplant rinds or avocado wrappings or whatever, and maybe that screwed things up. Does that mess with that's what I would be thinking of.
I take notes. If I notice something go off after I fed a certain something, I won't do it ever again. So far, I've been okay, but I've also like anything that I give them, I've triple checked, and then I have Ellie check behind me that they can have it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right. Have you found anything that that you don't give them?
Nope, not yet.
Okay. And is it only veggies, or you give them meat? You give them like you've got a
we do a lot of eggs.
Oh,
we
sure.
do a lot of
Yeah,
eggs.
I've heard that. Yeah.
I have friends that give me a lot of farm fresh, so we can't eat all of them, even though they're delicious.
Yeah.
But we do a lot of eggs with our ASFs as well.
And I take it you're hard boiling them, or you just throw you just raw eggs? No,
okay. No, I'll hard boil and just chop the shit out of them.
Yeah, I gotcha. And do you just put those like straight into the grow out bin, or you put those in the with the breeders too, or how's it work?
Like when I do like fresh stuff, I'll kind of use it as a little topper. Like, I'm going in to check everybody for the night. I'm making sure everybody's heated or properly cooled. Everybody's got water. And then I'll give them a little midnight snack,
Huh. Okay. I haven't, mine stops at Kalmbach and the seeds. That's it. I do the seeds.
Well, you're mounds larger of a rodent breeder than I. Mine is, I just breed for me. I did find very quickly, I think that was a thing with figuring out how much you need to have. You're figuring out your colonies because you don't want to overbreed, because I've definitely overbred, and I did sell a lot of rodents for about a year.
Yeah.
Because I was overbreeding, but that was when it was rats, and I was constantly anxious about the rats getting too big, and then you're stuck with these massive fucking you're stuck with these massive male rats,
right?
And you can't do anything with it. You shouldn't be giving that to your
no. But that's the beauty of ASFs. Like I have still never gotten to a point where I've bred too many. Either I'll use them or I'll sell them, and I still can't meet the demand. Like I know I'm disappointing my buyers when I'm like, I've only got mediums this week. I'm sorry. That's all I got. That's what it is.
It happens.
And it's, I still don't have the, you saw the tour on the show. Like there's a lot of breeding that I'm doing. I've never gotten to a point where I can, I've never, people ask me about frozen ones, and I won't, because of my relationship with Cold Blooded Cafe, I won't sell frozen rodents anyway, but I have never gotten to a point where I'm like, I need to freeze these. Nope. Not even once have I gotten there.
Yeah. That's above all. Great point. Back to what's so awesome about ASFs is you can sleep at night knowing that you didn't blink and they are ginormous.
Right. Yeah. You can always feed an ASF to a ball python. Yeah. Wow. We covered a lot of ground so far. I think we're, I'm feeling better about knowing you, Lace. Where I'm serious. I was like a little like, I gotta meet.
I was nervous too, for what it's worth.
Give me the 5-year vision. You got your nice house, you got your separate building, you've got your focused hypo clowns, all that. What hopes do you have? And I don't think there's a wrong answer. Like, how does it fit into your future life?
I definitely want to get to a point where I actually have inventory to be participating in shows.
Oh, cool.
I have not. That's another thing. There's a lot of things like in the, I guess I'll just say in the competition that I've got the I'm the underdog on.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we addressed a lot of them tonight. I'm not ashamed of any of that, by the way. But with all these people in this competition, we're texting in a group chat and they're vending. I've only helped people at their booth.
Yeah.
I haven't ever vended my own show because I simply didn't have the inventory. Like I mentioned, I've just been a little selfish, saving for myself.
Yeah.
But I definitely want to be at a point where I'm doing at least 5 shows a year.
Okay.
I definitely want to have the detached garage building completely done and exactly how I want it. I think I've spent a lot of time. So right now we're just in a room while we're doing that. But before at my rent house, I had a damn near warehouse building. It was another detached garage, but it was like a mother-in-law's quarters. It had everything and it was fully finished.
Yeah.
So I was really, really high up on that hill to be moved into a 3rd bedroom in my house. So there was figuring out, heating and humidity in a house in a room in the house.
Mm-hmm.
There was that. So that was a learning curve. So we got to now where we're okay. We're ready to go on the building. So I definitely want to go in on the building, make sure that everything that I've experienced issues with thus far, I've turned that into something I can benefit from the new building.
Learning experience.
Outlets, humidity. Okay, look, number one being outlets. When you showed me yours, it was a wet dream looking at all of those outlets. It was beautiful. I've always wanted the sink. I think that is a must at this level of any sort. So I think I definitely know what I want. And I think the exciting part is making it exactly what I want.
I wish you the best. It actually has been incredible. Like the snakes are incredibly fun. Molding and bringing a vision to life in whatever space you have. I enjoyed it down here in this space. It was an exciting 1.5 years of getting this space just the way I wanted it.
Yeah.
And then, finding that next step where I had outgrown the house and I needed to get it out of the house and it was overtaking my life. So I needed a personal separation as well. And, seeing that through in the past year has been really cool. And I've come to really, enjoy the way that things are now. So I wish you the best on that. It's a really cool experience. If you hopefully, there's some stressful train wrecks along the way. I don't know what they'll be, but yeah. But it is fun, and get yourself a bunch of outlets. You're gonna like it.
Yeah, and a nice, lovely contractor.
Now, if you can, I didn't have contractor money. So if you got the contractor flow, go do that too. But
with a family friend discount or something,
Hey, there you go. Where can people find you, Lace?
I'm primarily on Instagram. I swing all my swag on Instagram. That's where all of my content is. I am on Facebook, but just as a personal account. So primarily just Instagram. We are on Morph Market. And then, of course, YouTube, Show Me Your Rack every Sunday. It's
and that's
great
on
to hang out.
Irresistibles channel?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Cool. And which episode was it that you were on with Chris Eaton for the 15 Minutes of Lame feature?
Episode 137.
Oh, okay. 137. There you go. And then where do people go to vote for you?
15 Minutes of Lame, voting until we weren't going to shameless plug this, but thanks. You vote until the 24th of December. You vote daily, thefatmannation.com/15 minutes, or you can get on thefatmannation.com underneath the 15 Minutes of Lame tab and see all of the lovely contenders that I'm going to make cry themselves to sleep.
Yeah. Do you want to, can you share, how you're doing, or you want to talk about that?
Last I checked, I was shockingly in first place.
Whoa! Oh! Yeah. By the by, just want to let you guys know. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah.
I did not know that. Congratulations.
Kind of a big deal, Adam. But no, I was very humbled by that. I did not see that coming. So now my focus is just maintaining the lead, if I can do that. Wildly undeserving of first place. I think that there's some faces that should be there first, but I'm going to keep giving it all I have. I trust that the judges and Chris and everybody will put the person in first that needs to be in first. I'm trying not to oversaturate because I think that can be annoying to some. So I'm kind of trying to do like an every other day situation, but I'm definitely going to be hitting it hard like the last 2 weeks because you got to leave. I'm all about leaving an everlasting memory,
No, and it's a long 15 days is still a lot.
It's a marathon. They should call it the 15 minutes of lame marathon.
It is there, and we see no disrespect to anybody, but we see people fall off. We see people go, where were they? We see people go, maybe it's not for me. Yeah, all right. We'll finish strong. Congratulations on where you're at so far, but don't forget, lame is in the name. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't get too full of yourself there. Okay.
Never.
All right, Lace, it's been a blast. Thanks for hanging out tonight.
Thank you, Adam.
You got to come back and do it again soon, okay?
I would love that. Thank you for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. I had a great time. I enjoyed it. Audience, go support Lace with, follows and likes and that stuff. Don't cost anything. And if you feel so inclined on the 15 minutes of lame, check out her content. It is enjoyable. And, you got a little first place action right there. Not so bad. I got Antoine from DPR Cold Blood next week. Will Moreau's in 2 weeks to finish out the season, I guess. And then, I don't know, maybe we'll do a hangout over the, 2 nights before New Year's or whenever that falls. I'll see you on next Tuesday night. I'll be here. Lace, hang out in the green room for just a second. Thanks so much for being here. I'm gonna hit the adios music. See ya. I promise I hit it. Yeah.